Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to take a look at our grammar skill as well as one of our focus skills for the story, Gloria. So we're going to jump right into it. Today we're taking a look at adjectives and working a little deeper with adjectives. But real quick, let's remember that an adjective is a word that describes a noun. So a noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. And an adjective is something that would describe that noun. So adjectives we use our five senses. How something looks, smells, sounds, using our hearing, feels or tastes, or tells how many of something. And the way we compare adjectives is using the suffix er or est. If you would not mind turning to page 270 in your reading book, you will see the grammar skill right there, or you can follow along on this slide. Using adjectives, you add er to adjectives to compare two people, animals, places, or things. You add est to compare more than two people, places, animal, or things. So let's look at the example right here in your book, comparing two. Lee is taller than Kim. So Lee is larger or taller. Then we're going to compare two states. Maine is smaller than Florida. It's comparing two states. Now, if you have more than two things, for example, we're going to use Lee again. And the root word tall. Lee is the tallest boy in the class. That means there is not another boy in the whole class that is taller than Lee. He is the tallest of all the boys in the class. Again, we're comparing states. This time we're comparing the state Rhode Island to all the other states in the United States. Rhode Island is the smallest state in the United States. Okay? So what I would like you to do is we're going to go ahead and watch a video on ER and EST, and then we'll come back and work on this page. So let me share this screen with you. Let me stop sharing first, and we're going to do a new share. That was being tricky and not working. Let me go to this share. There we go. All right, take a listen.
More Armando used adjectives when thinking about the things he wanted to paint.
Red apples, juicy pears, round grapes, 3 bananas.
The better his paintings became. Everybody noticed the improvement, and Armando found that more and more people bought his drawings. Even so, he felt that there was still room for improvement. So the next time he saw Marcella, he asked if there was anything else he could learn about adjectives that might further improve his artwork.
Well,
responded Marcella,
I think that if you understood how adjectives help us compare things or persons, you would be able to paint even better. For example, look at the 2 apples in this picture. They're both green, but a good artist would want to show how the colors compare. Those greens aren't really the same, are they?
Why, no.
Well then, we can add the letters ER to the adjective green to show that one apple is greener than the other. We often add the letters ER when we compare 2 things or 2 people. Here are a few examples. Fast, faster. Tall, taller.
That will help me, but sometimes I'll want to compare more than 2 things or people. What should I do then?
In that case, adding the letters EST to the adjective should prove helpful. I think this picture you painted last week would be much better if the 3 leprechauns weren't all the same size. One should be small. Another should be smaller than the first one, and the third one smallest of all three.
And again, Marcella composed a little review to be certain that Armando understood what she had just said.
Now, Armando, imagine two rabbits numbered 5 and 8 running a race. Rabbit number 5 is quick, but rabbit number 8 is running ahead of him. If we use an adjective to compare rabbit number 8 to rabbit number 5, how would we describe him?
Armando's answer was correct. Do you know what it was? If you said quicker, you were right.
Now,
Continued Marcella.
let's suppose there were 3 rabbits. If we used an adjective to describe rabbit number 7 compared to the others, what would that adjective be?
What do you suppose Armando answered? He said quickest, which was of course correct, because we often add the letters est to the adjective when comparing 3 or more persons or things.
Okay, boys and girls, we are going to go back now and take a look at that workbook page. So your assignment is to go ahead and do questions 1 through 4 and then send the answers to your teacher for today. And that's how they'll know that you understood comparing adjectives using ER or EST. Remember, comparing 2 things, ER, more than 2 things is EST. So I'm going to have you pause me and go ahead and do that. And then when you come back on, we're going to take a look at our focus skill for this week. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you had so much fun comparing adjectives. Really quick, we're going to work those brains out. I want you to hop out of your seat and I want you to become a snake right now. And then I want you to grab somebody in your house and I want you to make them the worm. Now, you have a snake and a worm. So how many of you are there? 2, right? So I want you to know if you think you're going to add longer ER comparing 2 things, you are going to become a snake when I read the sentence correctly. If you think you're going to pick EST, you're going to become a worm. Worms move a little bit slower. If you think we're comparing more than 2 things and adding EST. So your choices is longer, snake, longest, EST is a worm. Here we go. The snake is, then the worm. If you became a snake and you picked longer, kiss your brain. If you picked EST, I want you to take a look at it again because you're only comparing 2 things. All right, let's hop down to the bottom. We have another sentence. Shorter and shortest. So this time you're going to need 2 other family members. I want you to line up from smallest to tallest. The girl is of all. Is the girl shorter of all, or is the girl the shortest of all? Think about it. If you pick shortest, give yourself a bear hug. That's awesome. Yeah, because look to your left and look to your right. You have 2 people and you, that's 3. More than 2, so we add EST. Great job. Remember, I told you we were going to take a look at our focus skill next. So if you could go ahead and turn to page 262 in your Journeys reading book. If not, you can follow along with my screen. Our digging deeper comprehension skill this week is understanding characters. I got excited when I saw figurative language. And doing so using figurative language. You're going to reread the story, Gloria, who might be my best friend, again. or you could have an adult read it to you. And then you are going to do the task below here. Listen to what understanding characters means. Gloria, who might be my best friend, is a story about Julian and his new friend, Gloria. Think about what the characters do, think, and say when things happen in the story. For example, Julian invites Gloria to his house after he meets her. This helps you understand that Julian wants a friend. As you read, look for text evidence about the characters. List the ideas in a chart like this one. So the chart below, it shows you have a character. Obviously, this week it's going to be Julian or Gloria. What happens in the story? That's your text evidence. On what page number does this happen? And then what the words, thoughts, or actions that the character displays. So I'm going to just you're going to click and listen to this video, but I want to pull the next screen up so I can show you what it looks like, what your task is going to be. So make the following chart on a piece of paper, or you can click here and it's going to be a really big chart that you could print out at home, or you can make your own pre-made one. So you're going to reread the story about Julian and Gloria. And then you're going to think of examples of what Julian might say or do. And how does that affect his words, actions, or thoughts? So there's a chart right here, and you can go ahead and make that. But before we do it, I want to show you a really quick video on the difference between character traits and feelings, because we've talked a lot about character traits this year, and we're just touching on their feelings. So we definitely want to make sure we know the difference. So take a listen to this short video.
Character feelings versus character traits. Character feelings are the emotions a character has throughout a story. These can change very often throughout the story. A character can go from being very happy to then being very sad all in one story. Feelings change more often and do not describe how a character acts. A character can go from being happy to mad to worried to confused to frustrated to excited. Character traits describe how a character is on the inside. Character traits describe the personality of a character. Character traits are steady but may change from the beginning to the end of a story if the character has gone through some changes. Some character traits could be lazy, honest, selfish, helpful, determined, creative, disrespectful. There are many character traits to describe a person.
Okay, boys and girls, so that tells you a little bit about the difference between character traits and character feelings. Because feelings, if you think about your feelings in a day. You might wake up really happy and ready to go for your day, and then you might go out and open your window and it is pouring down rain. So you know you cannot go outside today, so you would feel very disappointed then. But then you would make your way into the kitchen and see that you have your favorite breakfast, and you might feel so joyful and grateful inside. So you can see just in a couple minutes how your feelings change. And that's the same thing with our characters. So let me go ahead and share this with you again. This is the page that you're going to do. Now, let's look at an example because we always give you an example. So the character is Julian. This is the part from the story that we found. Julian invites Gloria to his house. Why is he doing this? What do you think he's thinking? He's thinking that he wants her to be his friend, so he's going to invite her over. So you're going to just have to do two. If you go back to this screen, you will see there's two. There's one for Julian and one for Gloria. So you're going to find a text evidence for Julian and a text evidence for Gloria. And then you're going to go ahead and send that to your teacher. All right, boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. on our grammar skills, comparing adjectives using ER and EST, and understanding characters' feelings. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again here next week. Bye, guys.